What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Around the Arena. This is episode 2 of season 2. I'm Sam, joined by Cody, and you're listening to the Finals Central. So today, ahead of time, I think it's worth mentioning that this episode is going to be the competitive esports episode. I know there's some people who listen to this pod and watch our channel that maybe you're not into that kind of scene, so I hope you stick around, but I totally get it if this episode's not for you. But we're going to be talking about a lot of cool stuff, including ProHubs. We're going to be talking about if the finals is finally esports ready. We're talking about some other things as well, though, like me potentially getting off of Medium. Apparently, we're also talking about is the 93R CNS propaganda. Cody has prepared a thought piece on the human condition along with that. I don't know what that means. I'm excited to see how that goes. And yeah, so it's good.
It's a tearjerker around, like, you know, the second climax.
Okay. Right. Before we kick things off, though, I do want to give a couple shout outs and channel announcements. The first one being our Discord. As always, if you're looking for a place to hang out, talk the finals, find people to play with, share pictures of your pets.
Say that you're Samming it in the Sam chat.
Yeah, say you're Samming it in the Sam chat, Codying it in the Cody chat. Apparently, people are also saying they're younging it in our YouTube chat, so there's that as well. But if you enjoy doing any of those things, or some other things, including like video ideas or contributing to myth busting or things like that, come join up. There will be a link down in the description. Along with Discord, as you guys know, we host community tournaments. Our next one is coming up August 3rd. All registration, things like that, are going to be held in Discord. It is open to all ranks. I would say the median rank is around between gold and plat, maybe on the lower side of gold, though. I don't really want to say silver, but I feel like that's a fair assessment. So it is really open to anyone. The people who are higher ranked, so higher plat and diamond, are looking like they're going to play on teams with lower ranked people to keep things balanced. So if you want your taste at a community tournament that resembles something like ProHubs or potentially the competitive format for the major, come join up, check it out. It'll be for one day on Sunday, August 3rd. The final thing is memberships and subs. We've had a lot of people joining as members over on YouTube. For $3, basically, you get access to the members-only chats. You get priority when it comes to like LFG and things like that with us. We also consult our members when it comes to videos and things like that. So, and we don't leak like important information, but they do get a taste of like early ideas. We run things by them and things like that. And the same is true now for Twitch subs as well. So they do also gain access to all those things. On top of that, until the end of the month, Twitch is running a promotion with the finals where if you subscribe or gift a sub, you get access to a weapon bundle, which has some numbers on it that's supposed to be animated, I think, this Thursday. But if you gift 3 subs or you subscribe and gift 2 subs, for example, over on Twitch, you get access to this exclusive helmet that is honestly really fire. It's what I'm maining currently. It has the numbers on it and a matrix effect, and it looks really, really sick. So massive shout out to our members and subs. During this promotion, you guys have gone crazy. For reference, over on Twitch, we have like 60 something followers currently, but we have like 25 subs, which is just absurd. So you guys have been crushing it. All that stuff helps out our channel. We put that right back into prizing or giving out to other tournament prize pools, things like that. So you guys are absolutely killing it, and thank you so much. That is it for all the channel announcements for today. Without that, let's jump right into the episode. So first things first, as you guys know, the watch party has been going on. If you're not aware, the watch party has been going on. Essentially, we offer a B stream for ProHubs. ProHubs is basically the finals premier pro league at this moment. It is hosted by a bunch of our friends, including Waltz, Rio, Burrito Supreme is the tournament organizer pretty much. And there's a lot of good casting and things like that. But essentially, EU and NA teams play in group pool matches of cash out to earn league points. Once they earn points, they get seeded for playoffs, which is a 3v3 format of final round and a bracket. Based on their placement there, they earn more points to hopefully qualify for the championship series, which is when EU finally battles it out against NA. So lots of exciting things. We are over the halfway point. We just celebrated day 4 out of 6 of the group play. And we do that stream every Wednesday for NA at 8 p.m. Eastern. And then on Saturdays, we do EU at 1 p.m. Eastern and NA at 8 p.m. Eastern. So Cody and I are both on there. We also have friends and guests and things like that. But we wanted to talk a little bit today and just say, like, what are some of our surprises? What are our first impressions? Things like that. So Cody, what have you thought about ProHubs so far?
I can think of one big surprise, and it was the monkey in Rio's background.
True.
No, I'm just kidding. Some of the big surprises I feel like is I don't know how to explain it, but the amount of difference between NA and EU, and then somehow EU is still not able to be better than NA, but there is a chance. There's a chance that we might be wrong this time. So we're gonna have to run it back. We're gonna have to see. I think the biggest surprise for me is just how much of a difference there is between NA and EU. And for the people that don't know, Korea, they got something different going on. They're playing a whole different game, dude.
Yeah.
Like the fact that grapple, charge and slam, and what is it, turret
Yep.
that they're using? Like, I don't know what happened over there, but my biggest question is like, are they cooking or are they lost? I don't know. We don't know.
Yeah, unfortunately, ProHubs does not include any APAC regions at the moment, so that's something we're going to have to wait on for the major. But if you guys are not aware, which we kind of recently became aware of this, APAC does have a pretty big, I would say, finals competitive scene. And like Cody,
Dude, they have like casters at a desk, dude.
Yeah.
It looks like a CNN broadcast.
Yeah, it's like
crazy.
full blown events. They're not just online only, which one thing that's exciting is that Telco is getting ready to host his first LAN tournament. It's in early August. I can get the date in a minute, but that'll be like EU's first taste as well, and I'm sure some NA teams maybe will go out and attend that. But apparently APAC's been doing this for a while, especially in Korea. And yeah, they run a very interesting meta apparently of like charge and slam, turret, and grapple. Those matches are final round pretty much only in a tournament format. So teams of 3 competing against a team of 3, and that's it. The first to 2 cash out. If you're familiar with ranked or world tour for the final round, you know what I'm talking about here. But yeah, I'm excited to see those guys appear during like qualifiers and things like that once we get closer to the major. But ProHubs has been very interesting. And like Cody said, EU versus NA, currently, we haven't seen them play against each other, but we've been watching pretty much both days. I try to watch EU during the day on Wednesday when I'm working. EU this season, I would say, looks a lot more coordinated than NA did last season, which might be a crazy take because, like Cody said, there is a pretty high point disparity, but that might actually mean that EU is a lot closer together when those teams are than NA. Currently, right now, NA is kind of getting stomped by Team Ed.
Yeah, I'll say, I mean, like, dude, NA is kind of a sleeper fest sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, I would much rather watch EU, which is starting to be crazy to say.
Yeah.
But, man, it's like, dude, the fact that Team Ed exists and then Bricked, they just, like, I mean, unless they're playing in the same series, then I'm sleeping. I check out.
Yep. So Team Ed is the team to beat currently, and they're pretty commanding in the lead currently. That is made up of Lamp, Graduating, TTV, and Noah, or Normalized, I guess is actually Noah's. And those guys are absolutely nuts. To put it in perspective, they're like 300, almost 400 points ahead of the second place team, which is Refine. And that team is made up of Lasagna, Gremlin, and Uni. I don't think that was the full team roster last season for season 0 of ProHubs, but After Hours was the team that actually won the championship series as a whole, and that did consist of Uni, I know, and so it's good to see that they're still performing well, but they are about, like I said, 330 points it looks like behind Team Ed at the moment, so got a bit of an uphill battle here, but this podcast should be out. I'm hoping to get it out by Tuesday. We're recording it on Monday. It's a different cadence. We've just been super tied up, but this podcast should be out right before our watch party for NA, which is great for Wednesday because we actually are going to be seeing Group B, which is going to consist of Team Retwist, made up of HD Spawns, Llama, and Brendy. Team Ed, so Lamp, Grad, Normalize. Team Refine, which is going to have Lasagna, Gremlin, and Uni. And then Steppers, which is Kip, Just Angel, and Unfortunate.
Wow, that's going to be a crazy series.
So that series is going to be the series to watch. I'd argue the entire series to watch of this entire group stage. That is going to be super competitive. I mean, Team Retwist has been playing well as well. They're actually in 4th, right behind Bricked, which is made up of Bricked is made up of STN, Stooge, and Busy. So this series is going to make probably a massive difference on the leaderboard as a whole. I think it might be inevitable that Bricked takes 2nd. They're currently in 3rd, just from how these matches play out. I mean, some teams have to come in 4th and have to come in 3rd, and if Bricked does well in their pool, which I'd argue they have a much easier pool than normal. They're playing the Rabble Rousers, they're playing VAIIYA, and they're playing Off Key. Three teams that have done okay. But for Brick, it's probably going to be a bit of a stomp for them.
We've just had so many NA teams just have like fills, dude. We haven't seen like a lot of teams at their fullest. There's been a lot of like fill-ins or something that's came up. So
Yeah,
that's kind of, I feel like, a big thing that people haven't realized yet is, there's some teams you're like, oh, they're doing so bad and they haven't been, what happened? And it's actually they're missing, a pretty vital part of their team.
Yeah.
They have a fill.
Speaking of Phil, actually, one of our personal favorites, or at least my personal favorite, is Fourth Party Cashbox. That is the team that I pull for every time that they're on the map. Mainly because that consists of Brutal Logic, who hangs out in our Discord and occasionally chats with us. That's our big dog there. But his team has been I won't say thrown together team, but they did actually start the season with Apo. Apo tried the bow on day one. And then if you haven't seen, Apo is taking a break from content, and it looks like along with that, he's also taking a break from competitive play. So they're kind of like finding their footing now in group stage, trying out some new things like that. I'm not really sure what that all entails, but Brutal did tell me, that they're kind of figuring things out. They're testing new strats, things like that to see what works best for them. So they are currently sitting in 10th. They're only 10 points behind Nether in 9th place. I mean, and they're like 140 points behind Apora. I mean, there is a world where they come back and get into the top 8, in my opinion, especially if they do find their footing and come out hot, especially with T Mills on that roster. I mean, we saw how gnarly that dude was with the Pike last season.
Single-handedly brought the Pike.
Yeah, I would absolutely argue that T Mills brought the Pike to the meta. We're seeing a lot of that this season. And I would credit it to him because he played it in season 0, and we looked at him and we were like, why are you running the Pike? And then we realized why, because bro was absolutely dumpstering
I think all the
people.
teams, they lost and they were watching those final rounds and they were like, oh my gosh, we got to get on this.
Yeah,
thing.
that dude was an animal.
Another thing I was going to say is I really hope, which I feel like we should see soon, I wonder if there's going to be any more teams that are signed.
Oh, I think it's guaranteed. I don't know if it's going to be during this season, but I will say
definitely by the end of the season, we probably will at least see one more team guaranteed.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's such a guaranteed give. Whatever team wins, maybe I bet would probably get offered. I would assume.
Yeah, I mean, we do have one signed team currently playing, but they actually signed at the end of last season, and that is Pulsar. And for those of you that aren't aware of PHL, probably worth mentioning that these teams are teams made up of players, the naming, things like that. There's not actually like esports organizations involved, with the exception of Pulsar. But with the major upcoming, we actually have Space Station Gaming that has come out and said that they are partnering with the major. And I think that means that they're going to sign a team, but they are not signing a team yet. I don't know if they're scouting with like PHL, or
maybe they scout and then they grab somebody after close, or not, sorry, right after open, maybe?
Maybe after open, maybe during PHL. I don't really know.
I'm also trying to figure out, I wonder if I wonder how they're going to do the open qualifier. Are they going to have teams that are just kind of free taken to closed? We don't know that yet. So.
I don't believe so. Just from like word around the community and stuff, it sounds like Embark is pretty diehard on like, you gotta qualify. Doesn't matter how much money you put in from an org.
Imagine.
Doesn't matter how much money you put in as an org. Doesn't
signed.
imagine anything. Like you gotta put in the time, and you gotta show up to get it.
I mean, I think that's cool.
Yeah.
If there's, that's certainly a way to do it, and I don't know if it's the wrong way. I don't think it is, but it's definitely crazy.
Well, I mean, it also gets away from all the money that's been involved with franchising esports and stuff. I mean, we are so far away from there, but like, I mean, the reality is you do have these teams that are kind of just got a lot of money, and they can kind of basically punch a ticket for anybody that they want, in theory.
The bit that we have, we should just really do it, dude. Like, just GA everything. You're forced on medium class, and you can only run glitch mine, dude. I'm down, bro.
Oh my god,
make the finals that. Be sick.
Yeah, but going back to like orgs and stuff, Space Station Gaming is apparently partnered with the major, so my guess is they're scouting a team or something, and then they'll pick them up as we get closer to the major. I don't know if they'll pick them up during qualifiers or what. And then on top of that, I think it's Alliance, I want to say, is the other like org that I've heard of, and they've said they partnered. I might be speaking of the wrong thing here, but there's another one. I'm pretty sure it's Alliance though. Um, yeah. So we do know that those are 2 orgs, and then obviously we have Pulsar. So we do have 3 orgs currently involved with the major, one of which has a signed team. And for those wondering, Pulsar actually does have like a telco. Let's see who else is on there. One second. A telco, Lasky, Person, and Foxtrot is on there as a sub. So that team has done really well. They had a really rough play day on Saturday. So they're currently sitting in 3rd, but they were looking really good. And for those of you also maybe who don't know the lore, Pulsar used to be one of the Aimers teams. I think they were Aimers Red, and then there was Aimers Blue at the time. They ended up getting signed towards the end of the season, and now we have just Aimers as well, which is made up of Elix, who used to be Noah X, Ramkey, Roma, and Days. So it's kind of fun to watch like 2 sister teams basically battle it out. Aimers went absolutely huge on Saturday. They had, I think, Pulsar in their group, right? And then they kind of just stomped them. Yeah, they did. Funny enough, on Wednesday, they also will have Aimers in their group again. Aimers and Pulsar are both facing off along with Gamblers and Vatican. They are Group C. So Wednesday, if you're watching the U match, it's the last group, is another great one to watch. We had a lot of fun watching them Saturday. A lot of competitive matches, things like that. So,
Speaking of another thing, can we talk about the absolute hate that Ducky brings to the table in our streams?
yeah. So if you guys will watch the watch parties, or you're a member of our Discord or things like that, you may have come in contact. It's kind of inevitable if you come in contact with somebody by the name of McDuckee. He's a very, very solid heavy player. And he's currently running a team with Kai and Jog, 2 other Discord members. Jog's also a member of the channel.
They might need to put him on payroll, is all I'm saying.
But apparently they have been really locking in and sweating it out in ranked games and really strategizing and things like that. And it sounds like they maybe matched up against Team VAIIYA in ranked play and won. Which VAIIYA consists of Sergnal, Mr. Tender, Cafinio, and Grimlock. I haven't seen Mr. Tender really play, so I think it's typically Sergnal, Cafinio, and Grimlock, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think Mr. Tender is actually a sub on that team now. And every single time they are on the screen, without a doubt, McDuckee is in our chat just ripping them, saying they're bad, saying he's better, all that. And so our solution has been to maybe potentially schedule a show match. And we've asked him to put his money where his mouth is. We are currently seeing if we can get that match scheduled. And if we do, it'll be streamed here on the channel. We'll also have a video of it as well. But the stakes are essentially Ducky has to basically publicly say that they're better than him if they lose. My thoughts are they do get slammed. I think if you beat somebody in a ranked match, especially a pro teams a lot of times are playing with their brain kind of off. I would say they're kind of just chilling. It's basically like if we were playing World Tour. Exactly. We've seen that before. Kazo actually put out a video just recently of somebody who made a video saying that they beat like him as like the #1 heavy or something or whatever. And Kazo was like, I mean, I wasn't really paying attention, to be honest. He's like, I was on Bernal. I stood on an umbrella and died. And he's like, well, why would I would never do that in like an actual game, where I cared. Yeah. So we're trying to set up a best of 3 final round against them to show who is the better team. Yeah. And it's been a good time. I mean, it's a good storyline and things. We love them all. Dude. But it is a funny story.
It's gonna be so good. Yeah. We're gonna play the where are you at? Where are you at?
Yeah. I mean, I have been stirring the pot. I'm trying to get him riled up and interested in this. So hopefully we can make it work.
I can't wait to make like get like an edited montage of them getting like dogged on with like the MLG song, the My Hope Will Never Die.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, old MLG
dude
montage there. Yeah, but it's a good time. We're still scheduling it. Maybe if both teams are interested, we'll try to get that on the channel. We would definitely be live streaming.
You think we could leverage Young to edit it for us?
I don't know. I don't
Be
know.
like, you can post it. You can have it. You can have it all. Just keep edit
Yeah,
it for
you
us.
could have the video.
Just so it
Yeah,
exists. It's in the space.
He would do the best with
I
editing.
know. That's what I'm saying.
Sure.
Like, if we're gonna have anybody edit
Oh my
it,
God.
get like, yeah, cracking Mountain Dew cans and the all the animation cutouts and everything. The sniper.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's so popping
Yeah.
an Osmoose can. We gotta get a cut out of that.
If we wind up doing this, I would love to make this like a series where it's like, I don't know, like an organized event.
Call it
but
Money
at
Mouth,
the same
dude.
time, yeah, like put your money where your mouth is, or something like that, or like I don't know, but like similar like Ludwig's Bureau Card event, right? Like it's like it's a total joke of an event, but at the same time, it's ran in like an organized fashion, which I think would just be hysterical if we could make that like an actual.
We get casters.
like,
we get
series.
everybody on. Like,
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
They get like a straight up like almost like a mini major between these two teams, like a UFC fight, but it's just us like cracking high noons on stream. And, like absolutely just talking crap the entire
I think
time.
it'd be
like, dude,
great as long as
I
the
love
pros are comfortable with it. Like giving them a spot to
Oh,
just
yeah.
like take the gloves off.
I'm saying, I'm like, you can bag, you can shoot bodies, you can beat
let
them.
them
I
know,
don't
dude.
care.
The amount of
let 'em
messages
know.
Ducky is like put in the chat, I don't know if I'd be able to handle it, dude.
There's probably a good 500.
I'd
plus,
take it personally.
like of just. Yeah, I would. You better believe if I got into that lobby, I'm shooting bodies. Absolutely. And people would be like, "Why not bag?" And I say it's more efficient if I'm shooting bodies, so I can still plug the cash box right after.
Do both.
Yeah, exactly. Shoot bodies, plug, then come.
So on to our next point, which is the biggest one. This is kind of be our next, like, one that's going to eat up all our time. And is the Finals eSports ready? I am working on a condensed version, which is going to come out pretty soon, probably earlier this week, maybe a Wednesday, at most a Thursday. But yeah, I don't know. Do we feel like the Finals eSports ready? Like just a generic yes or no. Like, what do you think? Do you think it's eSports ready?
Absolutely. Yeah. 100%.
Okay.
Yeah. What do you think first before we get
I
into
think
it?
it's almost there.
Okay.
I think it needs a few more things. Like, we have some stuff in here, right? We have standardized loadouts forming. You've said this. I've said this. We can see that there is a consistent loadout and, like, team comp going on. It's always light, medium, heavy. There's not many, if at all, that stray as of Season 1. Season 0, there was some straying. But now it is very standardized, Medium, like, yes, there's different guns that are being ran, but it's still the same idea, you know what I mean? So, like, for light, right? Light is probably the class right now with the most, like, just all over the place. But even then, it's still same general idea, like I said. Everybody's running Gateway. Everybody's running H+. Everybody's running glitch grenades. The only difference is weapons. And weapons, at the end of the day, shoot. That's all that matters. It really isn't that big of a deal. It's the gadgets in this game that, define what you do. And those are always the same on every class, quite literally. There is maybe one or two variations. And then in terms of gameplay, right, there are very specific strats now. You always double. You never coin on first cash out. You always want to wipe as a team. And I think my issue right now currently, which might be changed because, like I said, we're working with, a community ran event. So until we get Embark's idea of what comp looks like or what, the high level play is, we can't make the call for sure. So I'll have to wait before we say for sure. But at least in terms of ProHubs, I wish there was more similarity with ranked, I guess.
Yeah, I was going to say, because I know people are running to the comments right now if they're watching and they're like, people don't double in ProHubs. People don't do this. And that's actually one thing that I wanted to touch on super quick is that a lot of people, when they talk about this game and they talk about not being esports ready, they talk about it from World Tour and ranked perspective, which in my opinion is not the true tournament format of this game, right? Like it's qualification twice and then you make it to the final round. The way ProHubs is running it, where it's based on placement, you actually get rid of the kind of, there's griefing, but it's a different type of griefing, right? Like it's like you're focused more on the fact, like the big picture of like, I'm 100 points behind this team in the entire season, so we need them to hit fourth to keep our like season alive. Like that's a different type of griefing versus the strategy right now in like ranked and world tour, where it's like, I'm in first place, I automatically qualify. I don't care if I finish second. I just need to double it and then let another team get it. They finish first. That doesn't happen in ProHubs because you wind up losing points that way, which to me
Mhm.
solves a lot of problems about the game currently. There's no way to really, in my opinion, build this out in the game currently in its current state unless you hold like
No,
in-game
I don't think so.
tournaments. But we do the same thing with our community tournaments, thanks to ProHubs. I mean, they helped us out with our format. It's the same thing. Um, and that's the reason why is because people aren't going to double in first place. They wind up in second, they lose more than they gain.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, you
and
don't want
so
to.
because of that, there's a lot more like standardized gameplay play loops and things like that. You're watching a lot of reattacks, things like that. Like you said, coining on first box is not really a thing, because you know you were losing more than you're gaining and such. So one thing I did want to talk about is I saw in Discord, because there's a lot of discourse in Discord about this currently, and it's what we're kind of the reason why
Mhm.
we're making videos, a podcast on it as we get closer to the major. Somebody said something about RNG in the game, and I'm curious your take on this because sure, there's some random variants to this game when it comes to like destruction. I mean, that's kind of what makes the finals the finals. But on the flip side, Apex Legends competitive exists, and so does Fortnite, and so do many other BRs where it matters where you land and where you
Mhm.
grab loot. And I know people are going to say this because we talked about this on stream a bit, where yeah, like teams call dibs and people don't take that, but like if you hit the main stage and there's like $1 million on the line, somebody's breaking that agreement. Somebody's going to drop in your spot and take your loot, right? Um,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
for me, it's kind of like even if there is RNG to an extent, I don't think that can be even a conversation of like, is this esports ready? Because I mean, we have esports that are literally built on it already. So I'm curious your thoughts on that, Cody.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, I mean, RNG definitely is something that exists in the finals and exists in a lot of games that are esports. I mean, even to an extent, I might be wrong. I might not know a lot about Rocket League, but there's a little bit of RNG in there.
uh,
Am I wrong?
RNG,
The physics
yeah.
system isn't total. Yes, there's ways to control it, but it isn't always
Yeah.
perfect.
I was gonna say I wouldn't say I wouldn't say RNG in the same sense of like a battle royale, but I will say the physics engine, of course, is not perfect. So you might get a really weird pinch that works out or does not work out for you. In Rocket League, granted, I have not played the game in a very long time now, so I mean that might be way better.
But that's what I mean though, is that like I feel like that's probably a good comparison in terms of like physics systems, right? So one thing I want to say is that yeah, like you said, Apex exists. Fortnite, arguably, I don't know if still, but it was and probably still is the biggest esport. That's crazy to me, but it is what it is. Um, yeah, game's entirely
Yeah.
RNG, entirely. And I think RNG's a good thing. I mean, sports, real life, the thing that we base all of our competitive everything on, is all RNG because you have 20 people on a field, all with different ideas. Is that RNG? you know, none of them are physics majors. None of them are doing the
Well, I mean,
calculations.
watch
You know what I
football,
mean?
and a kicker kicks the ball, and the ball is oblong shaped, so when it lands, it might totally bounce a direction that wasn't expected if the person doesn't catch it, or if it's raining and the
Yeah.
ball is slippery.
Or somebody might slip their fingers, barely. Who knows? The RNG of them breaking their, Achilles
Yeah,
tendon. You never know.
exactly. I mean, that's why sports betting exists. Hate to say it, but I mean, the random
Yeah.
variance.
It's all RNG, and that's okay because it makes the game interesting. In terms of something I will say that I think needs to be standardized is some of Embark's systems. Those being, I think physics is fine, keep it the way it is. The jank is what makes things interesting. And at the end of the day, people need to remember that yes, it's an esport, and yes, it needs to be like, fair. But the biggest thing is it needs to be fun to watch. I think people don't realize that because an esport won't exist if nobody wants to watch it. For example, the WNBA. Nobody wants to watch it. All right. I think the WNBA is really cool. I think there's some really amazing, incredible players, but people don't want to watch it. And I hear people all the time say, oh, well, it's not making money and nobody wants to watch it. And they don't watch it either. So, dude, if you want it to succeed, you got to watch it.
Dude, not even the WNBA, but the NBA has been kind of hemorrhaging money, but the NBA is a bigger bank to kind of supply themselves. But viewership's been down on pro basketball for such a long time.
It's just because there's so many players that, are the same. They've been doing it for, they just haven't retired yet. A lot of the teams are the same. They just haven't really changed a lot. There's just, the game's kind of been played for a long time. I mean, baseball is kind of picking back up because they added the pitch timer, and they have Shohei Ohtani. That guy's single-handedly carrying the MLB.
No, that's just an LA fan. I mean, I don't watch MLB, but I will say people are into MLB for a variety of reasons.
No, I'm just joking. But
also, not to divulge into other sports, but I will say Caitlin Clark has kind of helped reignite and put the WNBA back on the map.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, no, there's really great players. Great players, but people just don't want to watch or pay for the games, and that's why
they can't get butts in seats.
They can complain about it.
It's a problem.
So, with that, the cash boxes.
Okay.
They need to figure that out. They either need to come out and say what the system is and how it works so people can play around it. I'd be okay with that. Tell me what the factors are, what the parameters are, and why it spawns the way it does. Or change it to be very, very, very simple. So it's one or the other. I like, some parts of the game being a mystery. I'm okay with that. But something like that, I think, defines the entire game. And I would like to know how it works. Or make it simple enough that we can figure it out to an extent. That is something that I think is a big problem. There's a lot of spawns that don't make sense, from a player perspective. Like, if I'm in final round and I'm spawning 200 meters away from a cash box and the other team spawns 50 meters, like, I think that's kind of a really big problem. And I think as the game gets further cracked, I guess, you know what I mean? Like, people start really, really breaking the game down to, like, its raw materials, right? Like, everything has been perfected. That's going to be a problem. Because it's like, okay, these teams are as perfect as they can be, but they spawned 50 meters closer. And the cash box is 50 meters away from that, and the other team's 200 meters away on Monaco. Is that fair?
No. I mean, I agree. I think at least the first vault should be equidistant between the teams. Or there should be a sure, fast, understandable system. It's like, the problem is, like, that's mixing ranked and world tour, and the way what we're talking about, we're not talking about that. We are talking about in, like, a private match. If I boot up two teams, here's what you get. And in my opinion, the first of all, it needs to be equidistant, but also keeping in mind traversal that's built into the map, because some maps might have like bounce pads that get you there faster than the other side if it was equidistant between the two teams.
I'm assuming, I might be wrong, but just from like a game design perspective, which I'm not, but I'm just trying to think, I'm trying to wrap my head around it. I would assume that the game is broken down into zones. Those zones have particular points that the cash box can spawn. And then I'm assuming maybe there's some sort of logic in place to, dictate where those are. Like, if A box is here, then B box can't be here. But I don't know if I agree with that, because I've seen the A and B box right next to each other. So that's what I'm wondering is, like, there's so many questions that I have, and I'm like, okay, this sounds like a logical answer. But then I'll have an outcome in a game that completely gets rid of that idea. Like, how can A and B spawn right next to each other? How can, 3 and 4, spawn right on top of where B was or A was? Like, it's like, it just doesn't make sense to me. Like, we have it on Vegas. I think that happens a lot, right? Is we'll get a cash box. It'll be on like cash box 2, right? And we'll be on B, and then cash box 3 spawns in, and it's on top of where B was. Make that make sense? And I'm fine with it, but like, give me the parameters or the logic behind it so I can play around it as a pro player and add that to my, strategies. Because I think that's something that will become a problem in the future. Like, imagine, God forbid, on the stage, dude, a team wins because, like, they just get all the cash box spawning next to them. That's going to look bad. I don't know. That's just me. I feel like that looks bad.
One thing that I kind of am thinking about at the moment with this is, like, do you think the gameplay loop would be better if, going back to like our beginnings, which is Call of Duty, there was a fixed rotation like in Hardpoint, where it's like series 1 and 2 are here, series 3 and 4 are here, series 5 and 6 are
Ooh,
here. My concern with it, right?
wow.
Because like I think
That's
on
interesting.
paper it solves what you're saying. It doesn't randomly spawn them
Hmm.
next to people. It's a fixed location every time. That's predictable. My concern though is that the fact that different cash boxes are worth different amounts, that teams will wind up being in a standoff for like, I don't know, cash out 2 or something. I can't really say because I don't know.
So I think that's actually a really cool idea. It's something I haven't thought about, but I would have to say no because I think unlike Call of Duty, the finals has just too
Yeah.
much going on, and there's too much to plan for. I think in my head, like I said, I would like if the map was broken down into zones, right? And like you said, those zones have important factors that are added, right? Jump pads, maybe how many stories or how many buildings are there, and these are factors that are taken into account, right? Then you have one more factor, which is where a team is going to spawn. The game knows where it's going to spawn a team. There's obviously logic going on, surely. I don't know if I like the logic because I feel like teams spawn on top of me sometimes, but it's fine. That's the game. It's the nature of the game. It happens in COD all the time. Uh, I would like those factors to be, thought about, and then it would determine. It would pick a zone, say halfway, like say a cash box is going, and it's like, okay, I'm determining where the next cash box is going to be. It's like I'm thinking of all the factors. Okay, I'm going to determine this zone, and then from there, it's going to narrow down even further. Okay, now where do I want it to be on this zone? I have 5 options. Okay, well, I know a team's going to spawn here, and I know that cash out A is going to be over here, so I think it should be on this zone.
Do you? Yeah, I get what you're saying. So do you think? All right, so let's look at the map like top down for a second. We draw a grid. Okay, there's the 2x2 grid,
Yeah,
right? It's
no,
got
exactly.
4
That's what I
quadrants.
mean. It's literally you break it down into sections like a grid. So you have like B4, and there's like 4 spawn points in like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
B area
I get what
or
you're saying.
whatever.
So the question I have for you, because I don't know which I would want, um,
Hmm.
is do you want the cash out spawns to prioritize in the sense of they're almost diagonal for each other? So let's say like if we look down at the map and we draw it in a 4x4 or a 2x2 cube, right? So you have a top left, top right, bottom right. Okay. And that could be like top left is
Can I say
one.
something real quick? Like I actually know what you're gonna say. Where you're saying like you want them to have like you always want them to have like a specific distance
Well,
or
not
space in
not
between them,
really.
correct? Is that what you're saying? Oh.
So top left is 1, top right is 2, bottom left is 3, bottom right is 4. Okay. Picture that in your head because you guys are listening, not watching me on camera in the moment, which Cody is. Okay. Cash out 1 spawns quadrant 1, so top left. Cash out 2 spawns, or I guess B, spawns 4, bottom right. Do you want the logic for the next set? So for C and D, do you want that to spawn at 2 and 3 so that they shift diagonally? Or do you want it to prioritize instead of its previous location? Do you want it to prioritize instead with team location?
So I think the more factors, the better to an extent. I also think that the game would benefit from having multiple areas. Like so that like quadrant 1 might need to be
Well,
3
I was gonna
quadrants
say it
of
has
different
like
shapes.
5 pinpoints within the quadrant that it could spawn.
Well, but what I'm saying though is like imagine instead of just squares, like you're breaking down the map into like you literally just like take a bunch of shapes and throw it on the map. Like a puzzle almost, right? You just make a bunch of areas and make them into quadrants. And you would have the spawning system communicating with each other. And I think I would like actually a little bit of I'd like a little bit of RNG with it in the sense of like I want people to be able to have a cash box that's right next to each other. Like I want that to be a possibility to an extent. I'm okay with that. I like that that's a possibility. I think it's cool. I just want that to be something that players can expect or like understand why it happened, I guess, to an extent. Like I don't like that it feels like you're just rolling a dice every time a cash box spawn.
Yeah,
You know what I
because the
mean?
cash outs have fixed locations currently, but the order is not. fixed.
It's just like, they just kind of like, it just feels like it picks one randomly. And I'd like there to be a little bit more, like I said, I don't want everything in a game to be solved. I think that's actually really bad for the like long-term, health of the game. You want there to be a little bit of mystery, a little bit of stuff to learn or not be able to, expect.
Well, hang on before you continue, because the thing is, right, like mystery versus what you just said are two different things, right? Because if we're talking about pro players and we're talking about an esport and we're talking about like people whose job it is to be good at this game, they're gonna solve the mystery. It's gonna get solved. It is without a doubt. So now
I
it's
agree.
instead of a mystery, it's actually RNG, which is going back to what we were saying earlier. So the question is, do you want an element of RNG? And before you even answer, before you have if you want an element of RNG, that does mean that there's an element of luck, which also means there's an element of unluckiness, which means a team on the main stage could lose due to being unlucky. Would you rather have that, or would you rather have something that could be solved? Because to me, in a tournament standpoint, where we're talking strictly a tournament, casuals are going to hate this. Like, I already know casuals are going to hate this. It's going to ruin the casual scene if you were to do this. Yeah. Like, it's going to ruin the casual scene. People are going to go irate. People already go irate about this game when it comes to, like, esports, right? The reality, though, is, like, on a tournament, if I were a pro player and I'm in the grand finals playing cash outs or something, and I'm playing against 3 other teams, and I lose due to an unlucky cash out spawn, and I get held in that spawn or just some weird thing like that, I'd be pissed. And I'd probably retire. I'd be honest. Like, that would be enough for me to be like, this sucks. So the reality is, do you want like the RNG or do you want the fixed, like solvable?
I want this, and this might not be a clear enough answer, but I'm going to try to get it across clearly. I want a system that promotes players to be unpredictable.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's... Yeah.
I'm gonna give an example. Say cash out A and B spawn within 50 meters of each other. Is that unlucky, or is that promoting kind of players being unpredictable?
It's unlucky
because it's kind of
the two teams that don't spawn near it.
But who is an unlucky to? You know what I mean? Like, it's not really unlucky to necessarily anyone. It's kind of all bad in a way.
Not necessarily. I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say.
Because this already happens in the game. There's already cash boxes will be right next to each other.
Well, I think it does get away from the standardization of things. Like, okay, so like there's a couple examples we can take, right? So like people like Sis Horizon because the map is predictable. It's very predictable. There's no variance. It's the same map every single time. I think the cash outs are pretty consistent with where they spawn. They don't, the rotation feels, I mean, the rotation is not fixed by any means, but like pro teams seem to like it. There's a reason why it has a high pick rate.
There's elements in the map that make
there's a reason why it's a high pick rate, right? And the same is true with like sports, right? Like people are on an even playing field. It's equal both ways, whatever. And even in other games, let's go like League of Legends, for example, top and bottom are symmetrical. Call of Duty, people prefer the 3-lane maps for competitive. They hate it for casual, but they like it for competitive. I mean, there's countless examples. My thing is like, the symmetry and equality of it all makes it predictable when you're playing at the highest level. Because I think if you put anything luck into it or variance like that, I think teams will eventually, 5 years down the road, if they don't change that system, will find a way to exploit it. There's going to be a way that they find to exploit it, and it's going to make it unfun.
I mean, but that's just the nature of like the devs being on top of that, though. I more so am saying I think there needs to be. You can't make everything totally, at least in this game. You want there to be systems that like push players to be unpredictable and out of their comfort zones, because that's what makes my brain is all about what makes a sport interesting. And sports in general is those moments where you don't expect something to happen, right? Like, the guy fumbles the ball, but he kicks it somehow, so it's still up and it hasn't touched the field and it's still live, and like, you know what I mean? They're still running it, and like for some reason he's able to dodge everybody because some guy slips on the grass, or like, you know what I mean? All of those things that you can't plan for. And to me, having a little bit of variance in the cash boxes where you might know where it might be ish, like the rotation's kind of there, but like, oh dude, it spawned like, on the second floor. I thought it was on the third, and the second floor actually kind of sucks.
So I would rather, instead of it being done by the cash box and objective positions and like how the core rule set is, I'd rather that be fueled by teams being creative with their loadouts and gadgets and things like that. I would rather it be solved in the sense of like, all right, here's P1 and P2, here's P3, P4. Like people know what's going to happen. And then you got Epi showing up with a sword and nobody expected it, and bro just wipes the lobby and gets the steal. Like, I would rather see that than I would see 2 cash out spawn.
But if the cash box is always in the same spot, sword might not be viable.
Not true.
You know
could
what I mean?
run smoke and thermal.
I
and
just feel like some of
pop
that,
and nobody expected it because bro broke the meta. Like he just decided to change it. Like
I don't know. I feel like I'd like a little bit of variance, but I guess I don't know if we're ever gonna agree.
I mean,
and that's okay.
It's kind of like Soul under construction too. It's like, I mean, does it just become a bloodbath on middle, and is that actually fun to watch, or is it just BS?
I mean, because fun fact, we actually have a map that exists that is always in the same place. And
the problem with Soul you are correct.
It quite literally is always in the same place.
Yeah. Under construction, it does spawn in the same place.
And people hate it.
Well, players love to play it, but the thing that we hate about it is the fact that there's a second objective that is just for free. And my problem with Soul under construction is it's the entire game of teams fighting that one objective all the time. And it's boring to watch. I'm sure it's fun to play. It is fun to play. Mm-hmm. It's boring to watch. And the thing...
So imagine if there was a chance every game that you got a Soul under construction moment. It's not every game that it happens. It might be 1 in 20 games. But one time, the cash boxes spawn a little close to each other. And now the teams are like all just bloodbathing it out. Normally they spawn super far and it's super separate, but this one time it happens and it's like, oh my God, this guy got 30 kills because the cash box just spawned next to each other and they were just going all out bloodbath. That I think is one of those cool moments, right? Where you're like, okay, we can clip this. We can like push this. This is so fun to watch because this is just one of those times.
Well, the thing is with that too, then you just run into more third partying, which everybody cries about anyways. So...
But it's not third partying when the whole game.
2 cash boxes. I mean, I guess. I don't know. I think it's too hard to say. It's too hard to say right now.
Like, there's so much chaos that you can't like. A team could go in and get behind the chaos and just steal. They could. There's a possibility that a team could have both cash boxes because they are just cracked.
We've seen it.
Like, I just think that's like
We've seen that with Team Head.
And so I'm saying, it's like, I don't know. I don't want it to happen all the time. I want it to be mostly standardized, but I want every once in a while to be like, that's kind of cool that happened. That's crazy. That really changed the way that the game was played.
Yeah.
Even one cash box. Like, oh, dude, that like really changed the game then.
Yeah. If you guys have,
to me,
I was gonna say, if you guys have made it this far in the pod, let us know in the comments. Would you rather see creative moments like that come from the game's objectives, or would you rather see it from like the gadgets and like somebody going off
but I think
to like make that happen?
I don't think you can say it like that, because if the game is pushing like creativity that way, it's also going to push the players in the moment to be creative, and that keeps the game from being solved, because you can't predict what's happening all the time. Most of the time you can, but not all the time.
I don't know. I mean, there's an ongoing conversation. The last thing I'll say though is like, I think with a solved meta, quote unquote solved meta, everything is counterable. And if it's not, then it's bad game design. So if teams are all running a standardized meta, which we're kind of seeing right now, right? Like we're seeing a lot of SA or Shack with Dome RPG, and then C4 like on heavy, like the gadgets are kind of solved on heavy, and then you have weapon variants. And then on light, it's kind of the same way. Like gadgets are solved, but then you have different weapon variants, and the medium's the same way. It's basically for kiting, and the weapon has variants. But like, if that's the case, then technically there's room for somebody to come in and break the meta with a counterplay. And the thing is, like at this level of play too, people are watching film, right? People are like where they should be. I'm assuming they are. And if you're not, you're selling. Because all the information that you need about your team, your enemies are literally right here for you. It's public knowledge now, right? Like, I would be watching and then coming up with ways to break that meta, and I would not scrim with it. That is one key thing, is people like to test these things by scrimming. I would find some other way to test this, whether it's just in game or something, but, you know, basically being like, okay, if they run this loadout all the time, how can I play around it? Like, the thing is like glitch mine's banned in PHL, but like, does glitch mine actually come in handy here and like turn off the H plus and beat around the healing meta or something? I don't know. Anyways, I'm kind of rambling, but you get what I'm saying.
No, you're good. We were rambling for like 20 minutes. I gave the viewers a warning. Moving into a little bit more like, we know that players and teams are becoming more noticeable. We have people that hate some teams and some people that love some teams. Another thing that we kind of already touched upon is the game balanced enough? I think so. Is the current meta exciting? Yes, for now. I would love to see it further evolve, and I'm curious to see where it goes.
Yeah, before we move on, I have one thing. I have been loving this season watching because I think we're finally seeing team play being a thing. It's no longer mechanical skill. It's no longer just who can kite the fastest and who has the best movement, best mechanics. Like, we're finally seeing, like, my light needs to be cracked with the H+. My heavy needs to be on point with winch. My medium needs to have pad ready and is kiting for the defib. Like, that's the gadget utilization right now has made the game extremely fun to watch for me. Now, maybe it's because I played a lot of Overwatch, but I'm starting to see this game not become a hero shooter, but just feel that way. Like, the matter of you winning and losing a fight is literally, did your team use their util better? And I love that. I mean, that's what makes CS.
Yeah, did somebody use their winch first?
Right, yeah, okay. I'm baiting out this heavy's winch. He winched me, fine. I'm going to counter winch him around the corner and let my team blow him up. Like that's crazy. I love that because it's just like other games like Overwatch and things like that. And I don't want this game to become Overwatch, to be fair, or hero shooter, but that key play is so big. I mean, it's just like Cody and I, after we play a game, I'm like, dude, make sure you have your glitches online. The moment you see him drop his dome, you better glitch it so I can winch him and blow him up. Like, like stuff like that is just, to me, awesome. And I think it's super healthy for the game. I know there's a lot of people who disagree. They want gun skill. The gadgets are what make or break teams in this game right now, in my opinion.
You know what's make or breaking me? Not getting the right timing for the animation cancel on the glitch grenade throw. So then I go to throw it, and then it actually doesn't throw, and I have my XP54 back out, and I'm like, I got to pull it back out.
Yep.
And it's already been like 3 seconds.
Instead of headbutting the team, like Cody sits behind with H+ or a glitch in his hand, and he waits for like our heavy to jump out and like bait out some util, and then he throws glitch and then capitalizes. Like, you see this in like Counter-Strike, right? Like Molotovs and smokes are the same way, or a flashbang in CS. Like, okay, we're going to wait, get positioning, and then we're going to pop flash, and then I'll swing this person. Like, you see in Valorant, you see in Overwatch, you see it, or CSGO. Like, that to me is finally making this game like just exciting to watch more than just like that Stu just cracked aim on the XP54 and beating this guy across the map.
Yep. Moving on to the next thing, which is a bit of an issue in some esports. Is the game easy enough to understand, and do they need to do more to change that? I will start with, as someone that is recently got some people involved in the game, it is very hard to follow along with, but it took a little fighting. I had to fight them on it, but they're understanding it, and they really, really like it. It just took some time. Do you feel like esports is easy enough to look at currently and be like, okay, I kind of understand? Like, obviously, no one's going to look at football and be like, oh, yeah, the plays are like, I immediately know the play they're doing. No, there's always depth to everything. But is it enough where I can look at it and be like, okay, they made a touchdown in finals terms?
What
do you think?
I agree. The game is not easy enough to understand, but the problem is I don't know what they can do to fix that. And the other part of this, not even to self-plug us for a second, okay?
I was going to say, if everybody just watched more of the Final Central watch party, I think everyone would be better.
Well, honestly, it's the same was true with like Dota, right? Like Waltz brought this up to us a while ago, and he was like, Dota for the international, which was still is like a massive high production esports event, had noob streams. They had a B stream that they pushed and had people working. It wasn't a watch party like ours, but like they had people working, and the idea was like, I'm a new player, this is cool, I don't know what the heck is going on. They come to that stream, they ask their questions, the people are talking about it in a more not dumbed down fashion, but like beginner friendly format. And like, not the self-plug, but to self-plug, that is what our stream is trying to do with the watch party. I mean, we go off the rails and yap a lot, but like at the same time, we are yapping to a lot of people that maybe aren't new. But as soon as somebody comes in and asks us, they're like, what is this game? What is happening? Why are there 4 objectives on the map? Why are there 4 teams? Who are all the colors? Oh my God, I'm colorblind, I don't know what's going on. Like, that's where we are, is like help solve that issue. And the thing is, I don't think one, I don't think cash out can be fixed to fix this problem in the game. I think it is inherently going to be complicated, and if they try to dumb it down, it's just going to ruin the mode. Two, I don't want to put. I hope and pray that casters in the pro leagues or majors or whatever do not feel the pressure to do this for them. Because I think if they spent the whole time trying to explain this game to new players all the time, it would take away. Because the game is not solved enough to where people would understand it at a high level. And there's kind of like there's basically the finals 101 and then there's the final 201. Like that's like what you need. It's basically like you need like almost two classes on it. You need one where it's like I need.
And then you start moving
Right.
into AP
Well, exactly.
finals. And AP
Well,
finals,
that's
you
what I'm
need to-
saying. Like exactly, right? Like yeah, I can load into quick cash, I can load into power shift, I can load into whatever and shoot my gun and have fun. Okay, why am I getting slammed and ranked? Why is this team in first place trying to double the box in my ranked games? Like why is this happening? You know, like
Why is this team intentionally throwing it
yeah.
across the
Well,
map?
I thought they were supposed to plug the box. Why'd they just throw it off the map 400 meters away and made the other team who's losing go and get it? Like all these things are things that are happening, but it is too much to try to ask casters to do that. And so I think they just have to lean into like B streams, whether it's us, whether it's other people, whatever, that can like easily explain the game to newcomers. Um, so that's my soapbox.
Yeah, I agree. I think you nailed it. I wouldn't say it any other way. The last thing, which I think we already said, is why watch the Finals esports over other esports currently? What does it have to offer? And I will tell you right now, Sam can add, what it offers is nothing other games can give. And that is the amount of variety, the amount of insane destruction, the game, like the actual gameplay, if you break it down, is just so much going on that we even are still learning things constantly that we couldn't even think of. We couldn't even imagine, like, even start to be like think of, right? Why are they winching the box into an alley? Oh yeah, actually, you should do that all the time. We just came up with that. Like we just got told that and we were doing it now, and it's like makes so much. Everything makes sense now. Everything clicks. You know what I mean? And it's the finals is just something that I think will always be able to continue and evolve because there's just so much going on, and that's what makes the game better than any other FPS on the market right now, because it's every cool like thing in an FPS combined into one game. It's the it's the hero shooter, it's the Apex Legends battle royale style, it's COD, it's Battlefield, it's literally everything, and it's all in one game, and it's perfect. And I don't want it to change. I just want it to get better. I don't know if there's anything else
I
you wanna
agree.
add,
I
Sam.
mean, the skill ceiling is infinitely climbing. I think I have like almost 500 hours in the game now, which has gone by really quickly in 2 seasons, really. And the skill ceiling just feels like it's infinitely higher. Like we played some matches off stream the other day with Young, and he was playing heavy. And he's like, I played medium, and he's like, put a pad down. I was like, huh? He's like, yeah, put a pad down in this room. I'm gonna winch it into the pad. I want you to demat 2 ceilings above us and the window. I was like, okay. And I did it. And then he flung it like 200 meters away. I was like, dude, like who thinks of this? Who does this without just like playing this game? Like, and what other game can you do that? Or like other tech, let me bounce pad it off of my medium's bounce pad onto an arena bounce pad and then send it into a chasm so that it spawns back. Like, it's crazy. It is crazy the amount of things you can do in the game, and it just keeps going. And then as Embark adds new gadgets, new tech, and things like that, like there's just infinitely more things to learn about the game, that it never gets stale. I mean, it's the first game that we've stuck with, I would say, for 2 seasons now.
That's
pretty
hard
much
to do.
daily.
Literally, my girlfriend's like, "You're gonna get tired of this game. When are you gonna get tired of it?" I'm like, "I can't, girl. I can't get tired of it. It's perfect. It's everything I've wanted."
Times where we leave a ranked game, we're like, "Why did we lose that?" And we talk about it, like strategizing. Like, how many times do we actually do that in a ranked game that isn't like we're trying to play like game battles or a tournament or something, and like we're just playing ranked, and it's straight up like you have to work as a team. So I mean, yeah, I think the finals is so uniquely different from every other game, but also uniquely similar that
And that's what's great. Yeah, you can
there's
compare it to
something
everything.
approachable to every single person. And yet it's complicated to the point of like football. Like you go to watch football for the first time and you're like, what is this yellow line on my screen and what is this blue line on my screen? Why did they kick the ball and get 3 points whereas they ran it and got 6? Why did they get 6 but now they ran it in again and now they have 8? Like Like, that's crazy. Or like watching F1 and it's like, oh, this is approachable. Car go vroom around a corner. Oh, wait, why are they trying to get a 27-second gap so that they can pit for free and then stay in first? Like, it's crazy.
Yep.
So I think the finals is esports.
What the hell is DRS?
Yeah. What is DRS? Why are they on teams, and why is a guy keeping somebody like purposely in third 1 second in so that he can have a toe the whole way until the final lap of the race? Like,
yeah, there's just some guy on the guy's team that's just like intentionally driving terribly to keep him back.
Exactly.
It's sick.
So yeah, I mean, the finals is like approachable in my opinion. It does actually have a low skill floor. I think anybody who has played like an FPS can get on and play the game. Will they be good at it? Different story. But they at least can pick up the gun. The guns feel approachable. Gadgets are easy to learn unless you start learning tech with them. But like, I mean, anybody can equip a flashbang and throw it. Anybody can equip a grenade and put it down. But like, the more you play, you're like, oh, I run launch pad and I drop a grenade and I put the pad on the goo and then I bounce off that with my team and I have Cody throw a gateway while we do it, so it sends us even further across the map. Like, how many things can you actually chain together that people haven't figured out yet? You know?
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah, game's fire. I mean, I love it. It's so fun. I'm itching to go play right now, and I gotta make content after this. So, you know, it's a little tragic. But yeah,
it's okay. Let's try to move through some of this stuff quickly because we're already past our limit. But you're done with medium.
Yep. I'm off.
And I'm kind of glad.
Yeah. TLDR, I'll make an entire video on this. That's what I'm working on next. Right. So any competitive game that we play, me and Cody and I and whoever joins us, I wind up kind of becoming IGL. I think I bring that upon myself. I like to be a leader. It just kind of has always been me outside of gaming even. Medium is not, in my opinion, equipped enough for me to IGL the way that our squad needs. And that is because I can call strategy when it comes to like objective, like cash outs, faults, things like that. But I can't call fights, right? Like there's nothing that I can do per se unless I ask somebody to do it for me. So that might mean like, hey, Fenny or my other heavy, shoot an RPG through my DMAT, or hey, Cody, like we're gonna shoot out and they're gonna drop dome and then you through a glitch. It has worked better. We've gained tons of RS just by me going heavy. Now to where I can actually ask for the DMAT and instead I shoot the RPG and then I immediately scream into the mic, jump on them as soon as I get somebody low. And it's
and
been
as
a big
much
difference.
as he wanted to say, I just light, I don't think is in that position either.
Yeah,
I think it has to be the heavy.
yeah,
The light can make calls because I do have things that can augment the battlefield and help the team, but I shouldn't be, the one that's making every call per se.
right.
Just because I don't have enough swing. I don't have enough leverage. I can get somebody low and say, hey, this guy's low, but I can't dictate a push.
Yeah.
As much as like a gateway can, but like that's just gateway. I don't have anything else. A glitch, like I can call it a glitch, but I can't make the push happen. You know what I mean?
The light is more of a mid-fight thing, and medium is just stall and kiting at this point. I mean, right now they just do not have the util to be like, I made this big thing during a fight, let's go. Like, they might get a pick because they chased somebody down and dematted a wall where they thought they were getting away. And like, that's not really what I mean. Heavy is like, I got a winch, play off of it. All right, I'm throwing winch around the corner. I hit the guy, I pull him into our team, blow him up. All right, we got the pick. They also dropped util. Now we're in the mid fight. Cody drops a glitch name, and we go in. Like that is stuff that like I can call on heavy that I couldn't do on medium. So yeah, long story short, dropping medium, learning heavy, it's going well. We're up to like plat 3 already. We're gaining RS like crazy. Prepare to see me on the pro stage.
Expect a heavy loadout video soon.
Heavy loadout video, or just my experience. It's gonna be more like my experience switching from medium to heavy and what I learned, because there is a lot to learn, especially positioning. I don't have pad anymore. I don't have DMAT to where if I'm peeking somebody on a roof and they start beaming me, I can drop 3 levels down without them chasing me. So yeah. Anyways, keep an eye out for that video.
Yeah, the last thing is my, why the 93R is actually CNS propaganda, a Cody thought piece on the human condition. It's 2 words, 93R mid. That's it. No, I'm joking. I do want to talk about it real quick. Just because I've noticed even the pros like aren't too sure about the 93R. Like I always like you see everybody running it, and then there's like 5 guys that'll like switch off of it like halfway through the series, and will run something else. And I think it's just so inconsistent. And
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like the burst or it's just like, because you have to hit headies so often and it's really hard sometimes to like guarantee the headies because of how awkward bursts feel. But it's so weird how consistent like the FAMAS is. And then the 93R, like even the pros just don't got it sometimes. And I don't know if it's like the good outweighs the bad because like that one time that you like two burst a heavy is really cool. And then the other time where you lose because you're trying to hit a burst close range and it's just it's impossible. But I'm going through the biggest mental struggle. Like I'm in constant turmoil when I run that thing because I'm like, damn, I popped off. And then the next game I'm like, I can't hit a burst for a lifetime.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it might be low key, like even at the pro level, like skill diffs a little bit, but
I just think burst weapons are always like you're either good at them or you're not. Like there are people that are really good at burst weapons and then they suck at everything else. Like for me, I suck at semi-auto weapons. I'm terrible. Like any game you throw me in, you give me a semi-auto weapon, and I'm in shambles. Bursts I'm okay with, but it's just I think some people are better at stuff than others, and like it's all muscle training. But like, dude,
yeah, people will say in
I
this
can't
game
do
too
it.
that burst weapons are really good in that sense. But the thing is, like if you're talking about it from like, okay, so lore, right? Black Ops 2, the meta was the M8A1 in pro scene. That gun like three bursted people if you hit bodies or heads. It did not matter. That's the difference in this game. Is a lot of burst weapons do not do a lot to the body. I mean, they do, but like you do have to hit heads. And like Cody said, if you're up close and dashing and things like that with a small health pool, like hitting consistent heads, like 2 to 3 per burst, is very hard.
The other hard part is like the 93R, which is a good thing, has terrible hip fire, and everything on light teaches you to like sometimes not. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, it's rough sometimes.
I don't know. People are clowning you in the YouTube comments about that, apparently. About the hip fire being bad.
What?
About the hip fire being bad.
The hip fire is bad. I don't care what anybody says. You should be aiming in with that thing. If you're trying to hip fire with it, you are throwing.
Yeah,
I
I
don't care
I
what
don't
anybody
think the
says.
mag's big enough to be hip firing, in my opinion. So
And the bursts are too wide. It's just it's not worth it.
yeah. Okay. That's all the topics we have today. I know we went a little long. I know we did some rambling here and there, but it's been a pent up thing that we've tried not to talk about too much because we wanted to do it on the pod. So keep an eye out for Cody's video, and then keep an eye out for my video as well. Those should be coming.
And make sure to join the Discord and get in our tournament. It's been confirmed. First, second, and third place are getting prize pools.
Yeah, it has been confirmed.
That means you have triple the chances of winning something.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Also, we did break 200 members in Discord finally. So thank you to all of you who have joined. W to all of you. Last thing I want to do before we go is shout out all the cool creators and people in our community that we've met along the way. We've been doing this channel for I think like 3 months now, and we would not be where we are without them. So major shout out to Waltz, Rio, Artie, Young, Rangerin, in our Discord community. You guys are amazing. I want to personally thank you for even just taking the time to get to know us and hang out with us, play some games, and help us navigate this community. We appreciate all the things you're doing. We support you greatly. If there's ever anything that Cody and I can do to help you out, we just DM us on Discord. We are open to any collaboration or any way that we can help. So just let us know. Hopefully we get to see a lot of you in Sweden. I guess that's what.
And I love all of you romantically. I just want to let that be known.
Yeah.
Not platonically.
We did also just book our hotel for Sweden. So we will be at the major. I know we've been saying it, but we have money in it now. So we are absolutely going to the major now. So if you're going to major, come see us. Give us a hug. May have swag for you along the way. But yeah, guys, that is it. Thank you so much again. If you enjoyed this podcast, make sure you like and subscribe. Follow us on Twitch. Join the Discord. And we will see you next time. And we will see you around the arena. Later.